the sloth begs many a question.
Can I wear the skin tight hot pad? The silver?
Yeah, go for it, of course.
We're just going to have to pause there because my Alexa's connected to someone else's laptop and it's playing noise.
Paul Hollywood could impregnate anyone with his eyes, couldn't he?
For those who are really wondering, I can't remember a time Carl's actually wiped my ass.
2007, that was when music was last good.
Matt's pet geese come with him to the pub wearing special nappies.
The train left the station without a destination there, I'm sorry. McAfee just did a pop-up and apparently my computer's virus free, so that's another bit of dopamine.
Yes!
Do you think sloths would be offended if they watched Ice Age and saw how different Sid is to your average sloth?
These two lockdowns have aged us. We've started talking about how good it was back in our day.
So, welcome back to Proper Up the Bar, Chief and Goat. It's episode 4 of series 2. It's good to be back. Chief, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, great, thank you. We're not going to keep our guests waiting too long. So, as people who are on YouTube can see, our good friend of the podcast, Kyle Woolf, is back.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, do you know what? I'm really good. However, I saw the post that you put on Instagram last week, and it said Kyle Woolf's going to be on the show next week, and you're guaranteed laughs. Do you know how anxious that made me? Like, laughs are going to be fucking guaranteed. What if they don't come? That was what was playing on my mind for the last week or so. What if I'm not funny enough? How?
The post never specified you providing the laughs.
That's true.
It's me, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm just going to sit here and say nothing now.
I've always got your back if you're not funny. No, you are a very funny bloke. So,
thank you.
How's lockdown 2.0 been for you?
Oh, it's been non-existent. I've been going apart from gigs and pubs and Grimsby Bros. I've still been going out to work. Still been going for walks and stuff. I've still been out on public transport. Like it's almost like It's almost like they didn't really think it through, and they didn't. Yeah, almost like that. And wow. It's almost like they just half-assed it. But that can't be true, can it? So
it's not really in their wheelhouse to half-ass things.
No, God no. Very well thought out. I mean,
oh yeah,
God bless them.
Normally, if they fuck something up, they fuck it up fully, not just 50%.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite shocked they've not thought something all the way through.
That's true.
They're half-assed about keeping us safe, but very focused on not providing free school dinners to kiddies. But there we go.
Oh yeah. Wonderful. Really thoughtful. I can't even be sarcastic anymore. Fuck them. Absolutely hate them pricks.
This got political quickly.
Oh yeah.
Change the name of the podcast. So when was it we spoke to you last? It must have been about 6 months ago now.
6 months ago, I think. Well, when did you guys start this? When did you guys start it? Because I was
in lockdown 1.
In lockdown 1. Good. I've got to say, well done to you, because this is one of the very few lockdown podcasts that has actually progressed beyond the first lockdown. So well done to the both of you for actually having a bit of gusto and actually wanting to do something with this. And I've listened to quite a few episodes, and it is really, really good. So happy to be back.
Man.
That's all right. Yeah, it was. I think I was a second guest or something like that, wasn't I?
First.
I think you were first guest, second episode. Oh yeah.
Shit. I was your guest, Jerry. So I'm now going to return the favour at some point, because I'm going to start recording series 3 of mine. So once that happens, yes, in January, because I'm kind of in promo mode right now for series 2, which is dropping in December. Wink, wink. And
nice.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be recording through late January, early February, and you two will definitely be on it, whether you like it or not.
Sounds good to me.
So it's not really an invitation. It's more of a you will do this.
A demand.
Oh yeah.
Basically, what Carl was saying is you've wiped our ass, so it's now time for us to wipe yours. Which I'm fine with. I will happily wipe your ass and let you take my cherry. It's fine.
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened, though, would it? The wiping the arse. We've been on many nights in Nottingham together.
I want to go back to talking about politics.
Politics or someone kind of little adventures.
Oh.
For those who are really wondering, I can't remember a time Kyle's actually wiped my ass.
Okay, not
just metaphorically. You said like you remember a time, and I was very, very intoxicated. So 6 months ago, you were just coming to terms with the fact that we couldn't gig, or you couldn't gig, sorry. Stuff was closing, and then there was a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel all of a sudden.
There was a light, and the light, we were in the light for a very, very long time. What happened was someone I'm friends with, or promoter I'm friends with, he was shielding, and we were actually allowed to go to gig again. And what he asked me to do was host the regular gig that he held. And so I was doing that for about 7 weeks until things in that area started to get the cases rose, people got a bit afraid to go out, and then we decided to pull the gig. I think it was very early November, very late October, and a couple of weeks after, like a week or so after that, we went into national lockdown. So yeah, we were actually one of the first gigs to come back, and we were then one of the first gigs to pull the plug before it actually happened, before the lockdown happened as well. So I got a bit, I did get the training wheels up a little bit, but I'm kind of itching to get back now, but I'm thinking at the moment, January 2021, that'll probably be when things restart, for me, personally. But I hope so anyway, because I'm opening for a guy called Simon Hall in February. So I've got to do a 10-minute spot there. So I'm kind of hoping to get a little bit of training in before then, but because I really do not want to fuck that up for myself.
We're just going to have to pause there because my Alexa's connected to someone else's laptop and it's playing noise.
Okay.
I'm definitely keeping that in.
Oh, fucking hell.
Who's connected to their laptop like me?
What? Who's...
It's a good job I'm behind the technical expertise of this, isn't it?
No, please keep this in. Please keep all of this in. Like...
It says the dog. Jeez. Can't get the start. Well, I've unplugged Alexa now.
Oh, good. I hate that bitch.
Charles Bronson's back.
Well, the Tom Hardy one or the actual one?
I'll take the Hardy one.
Yeah.
Oh.
He looks less like he's in prison this week because he's actually got something in a great jumper.
I've been doing my textiles class, haven't I, at prison? So I've got something in my jumper now. So where were we? So what had you just told me? Simon Hall.
Simon Hall. Right. Comedian called Simon Hall. One of the comedians is going to be opening for him in February, so I need to get some gigs in before then. Because I really do not want to fuck up on a pro lineup, and but hopefully things will sort of go back to semi-normality in January, and then pick back up again. That's what I'm kind of hoping for, anyway.
Yeah. I think it feels achievable, doesn't it? January. I think a few months ago, everyone was kind of like, "Oh, I'm not sure if we're going to do December or if we're going to have a Christmas issue or whatever." But January definitely feels a bit more achievable than other deadlines have been. Maybe because they've blown smoke up our arse and told us there's a vaccine on its way.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get you back up and gigging in January 2021. And I think that definitely requires a podcast trip out to
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen you actually gig.
No, you haven't. No, neither of you have.
No. We sent our researchers last time.
Did you?
A budget.
What, like a scout in football?
And that would be why you never came to see me, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's why we got you on
guinea
here.
pig. We have a metaphorical canary. And they go round. That'd be cool. Do you feel rusty?
I always, yeah. Yeah, I probably will feel. Yeah, I do feel rusty. Because at the moment, I'm more used to being the compere and the host, because that's mostly what I was doing when we came back. So actual sets are going to take a little bit more time to get used to. Yeah, I definitely do feel a bit rusty. But what I start to do now is I start to listen back to the gigs. I start to listen back to sets that I did, and yeah, so I'm remembering and memorizing things and like writing and looking to see where things can be improved. Because I think that's really the only thing I can do right now. I think that's the only thing I can do right now to make sure that I'm sort of ready for whatever happens in January.
Yeah.
Just looking back and listening back to all the older material that I have and seeing how that can be improved. And that's quite terrifying, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen to the sound of your own voice. And because, yeah, you think, you kind of realize that iPhone recorders are not that great. So you've really got to listen out for your own voice and just see properly where you have succeeded and failed.
Yeah, no, that's I like that, because all I can imagine is like footballers after a game,
Yeah.
training on a Monday morning, they've got to watch back what we've been doing. And are you there like taking notes about your timing and
Yeah,
and stuff?
I do. Like if it's not getting a laugh every 15 seconds, it needs work. If it's anything over 15 seconds, then it needs work. That's my rule at the moment. And if it doesn't work and if it hasn't worked properly in 3 different places, so I listen to like 3 different recordings of the same set in different places, then I'm learning to kill my darlings, basically.
It's funny, isn't it? Because when you've got something like a funny story to tell, humor is very, very subjective, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
what you could find hilarious as the writer of a joke, and when you know the story, someone could find not funny, but also you've got to portray the story in such a way that you are painting this picture to people.
That's right.
So yeah, I think it's incredible. And when we had Ola Labib on, she was saying about basically building up on a set and tough out and going.
I really took on board about what she said about doing jokes about your workplace, because that I completely agree. Like the people in the audience don't often give a shit about about your work, because they are going to the comedy club to escape their work, and they don't really always want to hear about your job or whatever else. So I think that was a great conversation. So I've got to say, well done to you guys for getting on.
No, thanks, man. You helped point us in the right direction for that. That's good. None of your other contacts has replied to me though, but that's fine. We'll move on.
Oh no! Like, big up UTC. They're lovely people. They're really lovely people.
They are, and the 2 reps, I guess.
Was it Kate? Was Kate one of the reps?
Kate was one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, forgot the other one's name now. It slipped because Kate passed it on for the last few days because I think she was on annual leave or something. But oh yeah, absolutely amazing. We had to move it a few times because I had some stuff crack on, which and they were like, yeah, whatever. I guess diaries aren't very busy at the moment, so I was very lucky.
No, I mean, I can't think why, Tom. I can't think why.
Some shit about an illness. One thing that has changed since you were last with us, obviously, we are now established podcast hosts.
You are.
We have more than one series under our belt. Chief has found a little kind of 30 seconds for himself to talk called Chief's Corner, which is just a little feature that he basically, like when you're at school and it's Christmas playtime, and then suddenly you're the kid which is the chicken at the nativity. And like, there was never a chicken mentioned. There's no lines. You just got to cluck once when everyone else is made. That's kind of what Cheese Corner is. So Cheese,
go for it.
push
Just
yourself
cluck
back into your corner.
Cluck away, Cheese. Cluck away.
Get clucking.
This is not how I expected to come into this, but I think he's just a little bit jealous and his ego's a little bit hurt. The fans are really clamouring for Chiefs Corner, whereas Goat's pet peeve has kind of gone a bit further down. So just a few random questions to get to know you a little bit better.
Go for it.
What would you sing at karaoke night?
Oh, what would I sing at a karaoke night? I would. Oh, it depends. It really depends. I would probably go for something by. I'd probably do a duet with someone. I'd do Robbie Williams, Kids, featuring Kylie Minogue.
Goat or do the Kylie Minogue bit.
Okay, all right.
Can I wear Can I wear the skin tight hot pants? The silver.
Yeah, go for it. Of course. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I'll do that if we can also then follow up with Islands in the Stream.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have that. Yeah, all right. So, so we're going to sing Robbie Williams and Kylie Minogue, and then followed by Islands in the Stream. Love it. Can't think of a better combination.
Exactly.
All right, so next, don't look at Goat for this one, because I know exactly what he'll do straight away, but don't look at him.
Okay, I'm covering his screen.
Who would you want to be stranded on a desert island with?
Me.
Wait, what? Out of Beauty?
No, anyone in the world.
Anyone in the world. I would pick. It's the thing. I ask kids that question whenever they first meet me for a session, and that is, I'd probably say, can it only be one person, or how many people are going to be?
3.
Okay, let's say, actually, fuck it. Do you know what? I'm just going to say Bear Grylls and get it over and done with. Bear Grylls, he'll be able to help.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
He can do everything, can't he?
He can do everything, and also it makes me seem like a favoritism of my family. So there you go.
Good. If you could go back in time, what year would you travel to?
2007. That was when music was last good.
That's brilliant.
Well, think about it. It was like, can you think of a time where in the charts you had the likes of Kanye West, Black Eyed Peas, Avril Lavigne, and what else? Maroon 5. So you had a mixture of pop, rock, and rap. Can you ever can you think of another of a recent time where that's happened?
We grew up in a good state of
not
music.
quite as good as it was then.
No, it's not. It's not like the olden days, is it, boys? Not like the olden days.
Not like the olden days. Wow, these 2 lockdowns have aged us. We've started talking about how good it was back in our day.
Oh, God. In 07.
And list 2 of your pet peeves.
Not being given the right amount of information needed to complete a task. That just pisses me off beyond belief. Second of all, pet peeves. The wrong person been sent home on Bake Off. You think that was a joke, right? But it really, really isn't. I mean, I've not watched the final yet, so don't spoil it for me. But when they sent home Hermione instead of Louise, that was absolutely shocking decisions from everyone involved. I was in disbelief, absolute disbelief, and yeah, not happy at all and 30 minutes after the fact.
It's a good final. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think it was all good anyway. So it was never bad. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first time I've actually sat down and watched the show.
Yeah,
like series for the whole series. I mean, again, lockdown will do that to you, won't it? And then I'm completely hooked because I really like cooking and really like baking, and I find Noel Fielding hilarious. And I swear to God, like Paul Hollywood could impregnate anyone with his eyes, couldn't he?
And I think we're going to end Chiefs Corner on that line. I am working on I do want a jingle in future weeks, but I don't want it to be you two singing Kids or Islands in the Stream. Just putting it out there.
We should do it. Being malicious. It's so every
Oh, nice, lovely. I mean, that's where we've just lost half our listening figures.
Well, not just that, you may also be getting sued for copyright. But yeah, your listening figures is where it's really hit you, isn't it?
We're getting sued for copyright. That means Robbie Williams and Kylie Minogue are listening, or representatives of. So we're all good.
And it also means they can decipher whatever that was. If they can sue us and I'd be like, do you know what? Fair play to you. If you decipher that, I'll give you all the monies.
I don't know what you're saying. What are you telling me? What are you telling me, Tom?
No. I think singing is one of the most joy. It can bring joy. I listen to Chris Moyles in the morning on Radio X. I'm not
good man.
who they are because they're not going to give us any money for that mention. But they sometimes do a carpool karaoke kind of element where they'll have a caller listen and ring up and they get kind of 30 seconds just to sing at the top of their voice. And even when because I'd be like, when I first heard the feature, I was like, this would be like cringe. I bet you weirdos do it. And then after a few, I was like, I tell you what, it's actually quite good fun. Like knowing someone else is enjoying himself is quite fun.
Like, that's it, and that's what you need, especially in these times, man. Just it's a little dopamine hit, isn't it? That's what we need. It's a little dopamine hit, and where we can find that in these weird ass times. Like, if you can find that anywhere, unless you're hurting someone, obviously, then good for you.
Yeah. I mean, we don't endorse hurting anyone physically, mentally, or I mean, they're the only two ways you can hurt someone. I think
physically, mentally, or
metaphorically
hurt someone. Impressive.
It's like I'm hurting you. I thought the train left the station without destination. There, I'm sorry. It just.
I'm loving this. I love this.
Like metaphorically loving this bit. Talking about pet peeves. I feel like I've been irrational again recently.
Okay.
Probably.
Why?
So, I guess this can be what grinds goats' gears. Is in the past I've said about people leaning across me in supermarkets when there's a pandemic going on. That's people who don't have the ability to talk to someone who is of a different political preference to them. What else has been? I mean, lots of things annoy me. Shopkeepers that put the wrong flipping washing up and dishwasher tablets.
Oh shit! Dishwasher tablets. Oh yeah, I remember this. That was
annoying.
That was
annoying.
Oh, I've not left that in the past either. I brought it up. You would have heard on the Ola Labib episode.
Ola Labib, yes. I did.
And she nearly did it herself. And she was like, wait, do you know this? I'm like, no. It's just an absolute pure guess.
It's. I'm glad I'm in good company, if I'm honest. I took it a step further and thought, why not? But my pet peeve this week is noisy eaters. Because I know I'm a noisy eater. Which makes my pet peeve somewhat invalid. But when you're sitting there.
It's more than invalid. It's downright hypocritical, is it not?
It is, but I'm nothing more than.
Or he's just sat there eating. He's like, oh, why can't I eat quieter? I'm annoying myself. Just getting more.
The thing is,
circle like that.
Like I'm really conscious if I eat around like other people who I don't know very well, or if I'm on a date or whatever. I try and get quiet food anyway, so I don't have to go through the motions of like. But you know, when it's quiet and you're in somewhere, like in the front room around a table, and you just hear just the saliva building up, and I think it just makes me feel sick. And I look at the person to kind of go, you know, because it's not like because they're eating with the mouth open. That's a different story. And to be fair, that is what it is. Just don't look at me while you eat. But hearing someone just like, it's just the worst noise. So I've got a proposal.
Go for it.
I think, because obviously we're all used to wearing masks now. A majority of people are used to wearing masks.
I'm not used to it, and I don't ever want to get used to it. If that makes sense. No, I agree. I'm not used to it, but prepared to do so for the current period of time we have to. Now, what I thought is, you could easily make a contraption which muffles the noise. Thinking kind of a whole head beanbag. No,
I don't think you can go around muzzling people.
Well, they've done it. Well, they've done it already.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen history?
Yeah.
It provides us with enough. But yeah, I mean, noisy. Do you know what's even worse actually? The lousy, noisy eaters, lousy eaters, right? But it's also loud drinkers. Like,
that I completely agree with. Slurping, it's like, mate, you're not 5 anymore. You're not 5 years old. You're not 5 years old in my fan. You're not 5 years old in a fucking kids play area. Get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Drink it properly.
And what I don't get is, as an adult, this is one example of a noisy eater. As an adult, if you've been drinking your McDonald's cup of Coke and you get to the bottom of it and there's none there, you know nothing magical is going to happen for more Coke to turn up.
Yeah, no.
You don't need to slurp it. And also, the other loud drinking I hate is when, like, I can't remember where I was. When I worked in, not the job I'm in now, in a previous job, there was like a kitchen bit, and there was a kitchenette and then a fridge side. Someone was filling up their water. I was about 5 meters away from them, and all I could hear was them just gulping this water. And it was like they were next to me in my ear. It was the most. I just looked at. I'm very passive aggressive. I don't know. People might have picked that up. Just hearing them gulp, and you're just like, man. Have you? I mean, I know we're not normally taught to drink. You're taught to eat with your mouth closed. It's quite hard to drink with your mouth closed. But surely, have you not tried it? It kind of doesn't. It's not great.
No.
But
are you going to do it? I thought Dan was going to do it now. I was going to say yes. That'll be perfect. That'll be the show's trailer, wouldn't it?
That'd just be the trailer, yeah. But what
basically just created a seal around it, so nothing's moving. I'm just kind of just moving it up, and I can just feel it on my lips, but nothing's going.
Nothing's going in around your lips. When someone's gulped, the noise, which is even worse, is they've gone gulp, 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 and you're hearing they come up for air, and they're like, and you're just like, again, you're an adult. Like, if you're drinking for too long, you're nearly dead because you've got no oxygen left. That's your own fault.
That's it. It is your own fault now. Like, you've only got yourself to blame.
Yeah, definitely.
That should be on their tombstone. Only had himself to blame.
Only had himself to blame.
Or herself. Herself. Women can die as well.
Women can, they?
Yeah.
It's the weirdest piece of equality we'll ever do on this, this podcast.
Yeah. Tom, you do realise women can die too? I didn't know that. Moving away from females dying and males dying.
Yeah.
So obviously, like you said, you're kind of hoping to get back January 2021, which is scary that it's nearly just about a month and a few days away to January 2021. What is what? I guess there's not many big plans set in stone at the minute, but is there anything huge coming up which you've got in the pipeline? Any kind of?
Okay, so I've got series 2 of the One Where podcast, which is going to be dropping in December. I will be. That's going to be weekly, and we've not just got comedians. I don't understand why I said we, but as if there's anyone else doing this other than myself. I haven't. I've got not just comedians on this series. We've got like public speakers. We've got Bollywood actress. We've got writers from the writer from the BBC. So it's kind of like spreading it out to like different types of audiences, really. And I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And it's going to also be on YouTube this time as well, a little bit. So just like this as well. So I'm kind of getting into the old Adobe Premiere Pro, which is an interesting experience. Then
ask me questions about it.
I actually might do, Dan. I might. Do you use Adobe Premiere Pro?
Yeah, I've used it for a few years now at work, and I use it to edit this together. So yeah, any help I can.
Okay. Yeah,
I fudge my way through. I'm very much self-taught myself as well, but yeah, I try and help out.
Yeah, cool. Also, I've got another podcast in the pipeline. I'm not going to say too much about it now, because I've only just recorded 2 episodes, and I'm hopefully going to be recording a couple more in over the festive period, and then that I'll be looking to release maybe in February time. Well, in February time, and in that, after I've recorded that and edited that, I'll be recording series 3 of the One Way podcast, and then releasing that around about March and April 2021. So I've kind of got a full-on release schedule, whilst I'm also writing and doing other stuff and getting as much comedy experience in as possible.
Amazing. So it's an exciting time.
It is. It's an exciting but weird time. But I'm keeping busy during the weirdness, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that's all we can really do at the minute, isn't it? Is keep working through the silliness. Sure, we're still smiling, and I guess in our 3 cases, making other people smile as well.
That's right. Oh, and another thing to make, well, I don't know if you wanted to know this, but my McAfee just did a pop-up, and apparently my computer's virus-free, so that's another bit of dopamine.
Yes!
Come on. It's the best news.
All sites are getting better at blocking viruses.
Yeah. Well, I did have a bit of a scare, though, to be fair, because I may or may not have initially downloaded a version of a certain video editing software, which may or may not have just been mentioned, which may or may not have been from the legitimate website, and it came with a little Trojan horse. It came with, so had to do a nice little spring clean on my computer. So now we're completely free. So now, thank God, it's completely free.
It's you're so tight-fisted. I love it. Are we all right now, though? You've got it properly. There's no viruses on the computer.
No, we're all good. Unless it's a really, really good Trojan horse and it's really stuck in there. But if it is, then it is. It is what it is. And
that's what it is.
It is what it is, and it is what it isn't. And if it is in there, then that would just be 2020 topped off, wouldn't it?
I mean, what a better time to do it than just before Christmas as well.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. I found a good news story earlier, and that's why I was listening. I was looking above to try and find.
We just had a good news story. The virus.
Oh, there's no
virus. Was that not good enough for you?
No, it's far and good enough.
Oh.
We don't normally do good news stories so early, but I feel like it's a good segue to another question. I feel we could all discuss at length. I
was going to say your segues are getting worse since the last one was let's stop talking about males and females dying. Anyway.
I feel they can only improve from that. I like putting myself in it's a silly way to do it, but I like putting myself in situations where the only way is up. Why put people's expectations really high to then just disappoint them all the time?
Go on,
exactly.
Take that next step up. Do your transition.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Anyway, obviously we're not allowed in pubs and stuff at the minute, but I was scrolling through the internet.
I'm going to be in a few days, but carry it, but keep up, but you know.
I can kick him if you want. I don't know.
No, don't kick me. Don't kick me. Scrolling through the internet, trying to find a good news story for today. I thought I want to know what's going on in the world. I want to know what's happy. This is a story that came out actually at the start of October, so we were briefly allowed to go and visit a public house. The headline caught me straight away, and then more images came to my head before I saw the story than needed to, if I'm honest. But there we go. Man's pet geese come with him to the pub wearing special nappies. He's got two brown geese. They're called Norbit. They're called Norbit and Beep Beep.
Norbit and Beep.
And he takes them.
Hold on a sec. There's two geese here. I mean, I don't know why I asked that. Geese is plural, in it. Like, I'm sorry. Carry on. Sorry.
It's all right. There's a lot to unpick here.
There's even more. He hand-reared these two geese. He bought them for £40 each in June.
Bargain.
He's had them but they've looked like that. I mean, they've grown a fair bit. But he takes them to the pub. He gets them, by the looks of things, a drink. I don't know if that was just for a picture, for a photo opportunity. They've all got a drink. But it made me think, out of all the animals in the world, what would you like to take to socialise with constantly? Favourite animal, is it? Because some people's favourite animals are like sharks, and you can't actually take them to the pub because they die. The safest.
Back on death again.
Exactly. I mean, one of my favourite statistics is there has been 0% of shark attacks have happened on land, which is my favourite statistic. And
you haven't seen Sharknado then, have you, lad?
No, I mean, that's a story. But yeah, so what animal would you like to spend most of your life socialising with? And who would they place in your life? No, not who would they replace.
The human animal.
Oh, it's really
so cringy.
Just a human.
So cringy.
He's a human.
Do you know what? To bring to a public place, I'm just going to be boring and say a dog, to be honest. That's it. I'm going to have to say a dog. However, I am becoming more and more of a cat person as I grow older, as I grow in my years. So I
can see you suiting a cat, if I'm honest.
Suiting a cat? Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I can imagine you living and just having a lap cat.
Yeah.
I think it suits your personality of being nice and chilled and what have you.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I think a dog for taking out to socialise and stuff, definitely. How about you two?
I'm on a dog as well. It's just I've never had one myself, but they just get everywhere and just say hello to everyone, so it kind of just socialises for you, doesn't it?
That's it. You don't even have to say anything.
No. And when you don't want to talk to the human, because when we're all like 2 weeks out of lockdown, we're all pissed off with other humans again. And the dog will talk for you, and you just don't have to talk to them. It's like talk to the dog.
When I had my dog, rest in peace, Terry. He was a loss in the COVID period, but he didn't die of COVID. What I found though, when I had it, was on dating apps, as a bloke, when you had a picture of you and your dog,
they make you look so harmless, don't they?
My gosh, they make me look soft and also very attractive. So, I mean, I can't keep the dog on there now because they go, oh, your dog's cute. And I go, oh, he's dead. And it kind of kills the conversation relatively quickly. How long has it been dead? Nearly 6 months. So I should probably have moved it on by now. But dogs, obviously loyal. I mean, it's got to be a certain breed of dog. I probably wouldn't take like a Chihuahua or something.
No, I think like a Staffy.
A Staffy, or like a German Shepherd, or a Border Collie, or a Lab, or a Greyhound, something like that. One which is quite nice. Talk about Chihuahuas,
or a Whippet, or a Lurcher. Oh, I love a Lurcher.
Yeah, I like Lurcher. Yeah.
Oh, Lurchers. Oh, how about you, Dan? What one do you?
Probably Golden Retriever. I think I've always liked.
Oh.
Quite a bit bigger dog, but
yeah. Before I tell you what animal I take to the pub, quick side story in Chihuahuas, which I thought it's not a good news story, but it is a funny news story.
Okay.
I can't remember where it was because I read it and I immediately started laughing. But a Chihuahua had to be saved from the sea because it picked up by a seagull and picked up in the mouth. So I think by the description, the beak had got into the collar and it was carrying it for a few hundred meters. Well,
oh no,
whatever, and then dropped the Chihuahua in the sea, which is sad. But I mean, the Chihuahua's alive. The seagull's got a fall. Yeah. Chihuahuas are little dogs anyway. But I just thought it must have been what goes through your mind as the owner. I imagine panic, but as a bystander, imagine just being on the beach sunbathing and you look up and you just see a
flying Chihuahua.
Yeah. What's happened? Have I had too many Shirley Temple? No, what's great. But yeah, I think I'd probably take. I've always thought a sloth would be quite good in a pub because they're chilled. I mean, when you will know because we've all been clubbing before. It's quite easy to lose someone in a situation, isn't it, in a club or whatever? But
not me. I'm quite easy to find.
You're quite easy to find. I'm normally quite easy to find. I'm going to be even more easy to find with no hair because I just look like a spotlight. So this is going to be bad.
Wherever the light's bouncing off numerous ways, that's where top. If it's moving, it's like a glitter.
I was going to say, I will be taking bookings because I know clubs are tight. So I'll just sit in front of your light and I'll just move around and just provide the light in different illusions for you. But I think a sloth would be good because they wouldn't be able to run away very fast, which I like in friends. If they can run away, they tend to. And no one knows much about the sloth, as in people will be inquisitive about the sloth, which will only make me more friends.
The sloth begs many a question.
Tom, it's not that deep. It was just a statement. He's like, I've like lost him. He's like, oh wow, that's like changed my whole perspective on life.
I was like,
I basically just repeated the same thing that you did. That you said.
Yeah, you did, but you said it in such a way. I went, do they? Really? What questions? But my thought was, what question could a sloth have?
Not.
What does a sloth need to know?
No, you have lots of. We know nothing about the sloth, so they beg lots of questions.
I think he was
lots of questions.
I think he was just channeling being the sloth for a minute and just being very slow to react.
Yeah.
On
the rare occasion I'm slow, it's cool. Sloths actually, one of the reasons one of the reasons sloths die in the wild when it's not because of prey is because they fall because they reach out to grab a branch, but they accidentally grab their tail, but their brain obviously isn't quick enough to tell them to stop doing what they're going to do.
Do you think sloths will be offended if they watched Ice Age and saw how different Sid is to your average sloth?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask it whether sloths were going to be offended that we were having this conversation about them.
Yeah, I'm not sure they watched it. With our demographic on YouTube doesn't state that many sloths listen. Got a few dirty animals, but not any sloths. But yeah, that's my sloth news. It's been a slow news day.
Hey,
that was a
don't take that one into your gigs next year.
I will give you that one. I will give you that one for free. Would you? I mean, that's a talking point. Well done for sneaking that in, Dan. Would you? I think we could write a sitcom between us.
I'd like to write something.
Let's go. I mean, Dan can draw the pictures. We'll give Dan the crayons, and we'll do that. So is that one of the dreams? I think you mentioned last time that you wanted to write something.
Well, what I'm going to try and do next year is I'm going to try and get onto a sitcom writing course, whether it be an online one or an in-person one, just to broaden my palette, basically. And I'm also applying for writing jobs at this point as well. So for companies and to obviously do alongside my current job as well. But yeah, I think it's just to broaden my palette, as I think I said before. Yeah, sitcom would be quite cool. Yeah, I have no other words for that. Actually, yes, I'd love to write a sitcom or something like that.
It is quite cool, isn't it? To the idea of writing something which then comes on TV.
On TV, or maybe not in TV, like online or wherever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's so many different platforms now, isn't there, that people access shows and what have you. No, that's cool. So just before we let you go, there's some standard things that we try and talk about. Obviously, lockdown. We try and help people through lockdown. So I'm going to ask you two things here. What recommendations have you got to watch? Obviously, people have been watching stuff, picking up new Netflix and Amazon Prime have both loved a whole new lot of stuff. Platforms as a Disney Plus, but since Hamilton's on it, no one else watches it anymore. And everyone watched Hamilton. Like, well, cancel that. It was a nice 14-day free trial.
I've still not seen it. I've still not watched it, and I'm keeping Disney Plus for that every episode of The Simpsons. Like that
as well. Yeah, to be fair.
And also, I've discovered a few like Disney films I knew existed, but I'd never actually sat down and watched. And I've actually sat down and watched a couple, and I was like, oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, Disney films are really good. Yeah, they just churn out like a couple of just easy watches, just like especially in this time as well. Like you don't want anything heavy hitting. You just go and watch. I watched Coco recently.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Like that is one of the only films where I cry every time I watch it. Like every time, because what used to happen is we used to take groups of kids to the cinema to watch it because they do at my place of work. They talk about they do a topic of Day of the Dead, and obviously that's what Coco is about. And I cry every time we watch it. They were watching it today in the halls. Obviously, we can't go anywhere. And I could hear the opening for it, and I started welling up the next door because that's how powerful that film is for me. Great film.
Such a good film, and I got into the habit of tending to watch because you know what lockdown's like. Everyone's been home now. I mean, not everyone. The only person that's probably put on as much weight if they have in lockdown, but had a lot of drunken nights in lockdown 1, which meant that there was a lot of hangover days, which also meant lockdown. Disney Plus became very handy because when you're hungover, you don't want to go and watch I don't know, Inception or Kill Bill or Layer Cake or something. You don't want to have to know what you're watching. You want to watch something easy. But also the problem with Disney films is it's quite often a lesson. And for there to be a Disney film, something has to be sad. When you're hungover and you're in bed and you've drunk, I don't know, near 20 odd beers and a few whiskies the night before, you're laying in bed, you're sad because you're recently single, your dog's recently been put down, you can't go to the pub, you're there, you watch. This
is not autobiographical, it's completely hypothetical, isn't it?
Yeah, this is all hypothetical. I saw on Hinge the other day, it doesn't matter. I'm joking. I know she listens, hello, it's fine. But laying in bed watch Inside Out, which is a great film, And I was like, there was points where I caught myself crying at it, and I was like, Tom, come on, man. Like, Disney's good, but you don't have to cry. All she did was drop the good memory and infect it with the sadness.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh no. And then a part of you dies, because then you can just envision things in your head, and you're like, oh, this poor girl, how's she going to know? Why can't you just see that the ice was the best place to be?
Quickly answer the first question. Give him something happy to watch. I feel really bad for him.
Okay.
Quickly, I've drank a bottle of rum nearly.
Okay. Something happy to watch. I don't know if it's not happy necessarily, but it is funny and brilliant. BoJack Horseman.
Oh, see, I've only just I've heard about it, but someone went on to me the other day and go, you've got to watch BoJack Horseman. So I've only just recently gone, I will make time to watch BoJack Horseman. So it's on the radar.
Or Friday Night Dinner.
Oh, winner. Every day a winner. Every day.
I watched A Million Ways to Die in the West on Netflix the other day. Great film.
I like film. Do you know what? That film got a really bad rep. I'm sorry, it really, really did.
I don't like much of Seth MacFarlane's humour mostly. Like when he writes stuff, I've never really watched that sort of stuff. It hasn't been really for me. But he was really good in it and really good producing that, and just all the characters. And it got some big names in it as well.
Yeah. Fun fact about him, though, he's not actually been on the writing staff for Family Guy since about 2008.
Hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just done most of the voice, a few of the voices now, hasn't he?
That's it. And he collects the producer money, so...
Yeah, I was saying, he is pissing money. That bloke is loaded. One of the things that I recommend, if you've got Netflix, it's just come on Netflix. To my knowledge, that it's only just come on. Man Down, Greg Davis. It's Greg Davis, and Rick Mile plays his dad. Rest in peace. What a guy he was. Definitely, that is worth a watch. It is absolutely. So, if you like Greg Davis, you like Rick Mile, then it is the funniest show you could watch at the minute. He's like, because I've watched a lot of his stand-up, and you know his stories from when he was a teacher and stuff. You can see how this is literally his life, just with a little bit of artistic license, and so funny. That made me cry, because there's a sad episode where, because in the same year,
don't really. Oh yeah, we'll carry on.
I was going to say, just in the same year, he lost his dad, and then Rick Mile died a few months later, and there's an episode on it. But it's extremely, apart from the sadness of that, it's an extremely funny. Watch that. And also, because you're here, because we're podcast hosts, you're a podcast host. What podcast do people watch, apart from Pop Up the Bar?
Apart from Pop Up the Bar, and apart from the one where with Kyle Woolf, obviously.
I was going to say, and yours, that was a plug.
Yeah. I love Table Manners with Jessie Ware and her mum. What happens is it's the best concept. They invite a celebrity guest over for dinner, and they cook for them, and they just talk over dinner. It is absolutely fantastic. Also, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is great as well. I also like Scoobius. What's it called? Distorted. I'm just trying to find it. I've got it on it. I was literally just listening to it. It's talk amongst yourselves, guys. Distraction pieces with Scoobius Pip. That is fantastic. If you're interested in anything to do with the music industry, that's great. And Hip Hop Saved My Life with Roman Shanganathan. That's great.
I've not listened to that yet. I do need to listen to that. I'm reworking my way through Off Menu at the minute.
With James Acaster.
Yeah, just pure class. Him and Ed Gamble. Quite, and I don't know why I find him funny, because a lot of people don't find him funny. But Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast, I mean, he probably is the godfather of podcasts at the minute. He literally just spunks everything out. But that's incredibly funny. And also, what was I listening to the other day? If you're into your literature, let me just get it up. It's called the Bear Books Podcast. Now, it isn't a plug because it's my friend's podcast. I found it's an ex-work colleague. And if you're into literature, It is absolutely amazing. What they do is they'll read a book. The two hosts will read a book, and then they'll invite the author on, discuss the themes and stuff with it. It is dead interesting, and I've only just got into reading. There'll be people that listen to this who will laugh at the fact that I now read, because my Nicola, who listens to this, gave me a Louis Theroux book once, and it took me about 3 months to read.
3 months? That's good going. That's really good going.
Have you read that?
I don't think I finished it, and it was and I quite like autobiographies. But yeah, that's good. Bear Books podcast, and also Pavs Pod if you like rugby. My other one. How about it?
Yeah.
Wait, do you host another podcast?
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
I don't know that at all.
No, it doesn't really matter. It's nothing big. It's only a few hundred. But yeah, so Dan, do you listen to any podcasts, or do you just edit this one and try and add humour?
Edit this one, try and add humour. I've been taking a list of all these. I'll listen to these.
Good.
Good. No, definitely. And to be fair, now podcasts are the best for me. I feel now because you've got to go out walking to be sane now. Podcasts are much easier than walking to music because you get lost in conversation without having to input. It's like being a fly on the wall for an hour is actually really nice. You feel like you're with friends when you're not.
I much prefer listening to podcasts when I'm working out than listening to music. It's just
I ran last weekend, and it actually ended up being the day 17 years on from when we won the Rugby World Cup, and I was listening to a podcast with Sir Clive Woodward on Jake Humphreys and the High Performance podcast, which is actually quite good.
So you do listen to podcasts?
I do listen to podcasts. He just didn't give me the chance, does he? He belittled my Chiefs corner. He did. Just look at this. Look at this.
Oh my God.
I want to be treated like equals when we come on your podcast, not like
definitely. Definitely.
I'm not coming on the same one as him. I provide way too much content.
Hold on. You know, from where I'm looking right now, right? You just pointed at me. I'm not going to the same podcast as him.
Yes, I've got the gig.
I mean, Chief. I don't mean you. I've got episodes worth of content for you.
Oh, nice.
You can do a whole series with me. No, I'm joking. That's right. I'll babysit Chief for you. It's fine.
Nice.
How can people follow you before we part ways?
You can follow me on Twitter at Kyle Woolf Comedy, on Instagram at Kyle Woolf Comedy. Also, as I said before, Series 2 of The One Where with Kyle Woolf is dropping in December. There's about 100 or so, there's 104 episodes in Series 1. I'm cutting that down a little bit to 10 episodes of series.
Not much change then, not much change.
10 episodes of series, so they will be starting weekly from December, and that's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podbean. That's that, and it's going to be really, really good. I don't think I'm setting it well, but it's going to be really, really good.
No, it is really good. Honestly,
it is good.
It's class, and so follow you. And if you're listening to, if people actually listen to us, all you've got to do is put in Kyle Woolf and then click subscribe. It's only a few seconds.
Yeah.
Download and listen.
Also, the one where pod will be on YouTube as well. So follow the One Where Pod and subscribe to that. Well, not follow, subscribe to the One Where Pod on YouTube, and to get all the unedited videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have edited versions of the podcast for audio, then full unedited on YouTube. So
love it, absolutely love it. I mean, if Dan was a good editor, we would have done that, but there's no point. Thanks for coming on.
I just feel bad. You're like a little whipping boy.
He has to take it out on someone, bless him, doesn't he? Feels threatened.
Yeah, great. By the time this goes out, it'll be it's going to be Monday, which will be the 30th. So it's the last day to donate to the Handlebars of Love. Dan, say the Handlebars of Love.
The Handlebars of Love.
Yeah, cool. So for November, there's that. And we'll obviously catch up with you all next week. Thanks for coming on. And we'll talk to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
Thank you.